Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share with you my first trimester essentials. So this is a mix of things that are some favorites, some things that I've used with both of my pregnancies. If you're new here, I'm currently pregnant. I'm almost 12 weeks with baby number 2. My son Hugo is 2 years old, and some of these products have been absolutely amazing for both pregnancies, and some of these products I've never personally used, but you guys have recommended them to me either on Instagram or in the comments here on YouTube, and I just wanted to compile a complete list of things that are really essential. And if this is your very first pregnancy, you're the beginning of your first trimester, I hope that you find this video helpful. Before we jump in, really quickly, just a disclaimer, obviously I'm not a doctor, and anything that I recommend when it comes to vitamins or supplements, please consult with your doctor before taking anything. That's really important to be on the same page as your doctor so that they can advise whether or not something is good for you to take. So with that being said, let's jump in. Let's talk first about anti-nausea. First trimester is no joke, especially when it comes to nausea. That is usually a defining feature of the first trimester for a lot of women. So I have a few anti-nausea recommendations. I'll start first with the non-medication recommendations. When you tell your doctor that you're experiencing nausea, or you Google pregnancy nausea, usually one of the first things that come up are taking some sort of ginger, whether it be like a ginger chew or taking a hard ginger candy, or maybe even a ginger supplement, ginger tea. The ginger that I really love taking have been by the Ginger People, these little gingins. They're so cute. They come in this little bag. This same brand, hopefully it'll focus, this same brand makes ginger chews, which I've really enjoyed. Even when I'm not pregnant, I really like them. These are the hard ginger candies. So they come in individual little packets, which I think is great. You can throw them in your purse, throw a few in your diaper bag if you've got other kids running around, and you can take them whenever you need them. And I did find, especially very early in pregnancy, these were very helpful. Once the nausea started getting more severe, like weeks 7 and 8, I wanted nothing to do with these. But in the beginning, when the nausea was a bit milder, I found that these really helped. So I would definitely check these out. We got these at Whole Foods. I'm sure you can get them anywhere. I will link them down below. Another thing you can take are teas, ginger teas. My husband had picked up this peppermint tea for me. It is an organic Belly Comfort peppermint tea. I never actually ended up using this, but it's available. It's out there. I know a lot of maternity specific brands also make anti-nausea teas. I will link some of them down below, but that's just something to consider, especially if you like hot drinks, or maybe you're pregnant in some of the colder months. That might be a nice sort of treat to indulge in. Another thing I wanted to mention that I don't currently have with me, I'm not quite sure where they are, but they're C-bands. So if you've never seen C-bands before, they look like really big, almost like thick bracelets that you wear on your wrist. They're acupuncture bracelets. So they come with this tiny little plastic nub that pushes into an acupressure point, I believe, and helps reduce nausea, reduce motion sickness. I had first seen these when I worked on a cruise ship. A lot of guests used to wear them, and I, for my first pregnancy, had picked up a few pairs and then totally forgot whether or not they actually helped. So I ended up trying them again this pregnancy. I will say, for me personally, I didn't find that they worked. However, I had so many people, when I Instagrammed that I was wearing them, I had so many people message me and say, oh my god, those were a lifesaver for me. The brand even makes C-bands that you can keep on, that you never have to take off, because the ones that I have are fabric. So if you're going to shower, or you're doing like a really big washing of your hands, you'd have to take them off. But the brand makes rubber ones that you never have to take off. So for some people, they really work. For me, after a day, I just found that my wrists were really sore, and that sort of pressure, a few fingers below my wrist, it felt unbearable. Again, that's just me. For some people, it really works. They're inexpensive enough, I would say, if you are in your early pregnancy and you're trying a bunch of things and you just want to have something on hand to give a go if you're not feeling well, I'd order them, just have them. You never know, they might work for you. Last thing that I wanted to mention that I haven't personally tried, but again, a lot of people mention it, a lot of people talk about it, is taking Unisom and vitamin B6. So apparently taking this combination will help alleviate nausea, and a lot of women have had success in taking this combination. I never heard of it until this pregnancy, and I was already to the point where I was like this close to calling my doctor about getting on medication, and then all of a sudden my nausea sort of dissipated and I didn't feel like I needed it anymore. But I have heard a lot of women talk about how they take Unisom and B6, they take it like super early on in their pregnancy, maybe even before those feelings of nausea feel severe, and then it keeps the feelings of nausea at bay throughout their pregnancy. So that might definitely be something to write down and ask your doctor about, because hey, if it subsides nausea, then like 2 thumbs up, right? The last thing I did want to mention is there's no shame in asking your doctor about anti-nausea medication. That was something, like I mentioned, I was this close to doing. I was feeling so nauseous. I felt like I couldn't partake in anything my family was doing because I just felt so sick all the time. I could barely take care of my toddler. Luckily, my husband was home and could help, but I just felt so useless and I felt so sick. And so I was really about to call my doctor and ask about the medication, and like almost like magic, all of a sudden it was gone. But I just wanted to put it out there that there's no shame in asking your doctor about medication. If you have tried everything else, even if you haven't tried everything else and you're like, listen, I just want to nip this in the bud and talk to my doctor about it, then go for it. There's no shame in that. Something I definitely want to chat about is magnesium. So I've been taking these magnesium tablets this pregnancy to help relieve restless leg syndrome. Restless leg syndrome is that like awful thing, maybe we've all experienced it one time or another, where you're sleeping, you wake up in the middle of the night, or you have a hard time falling asleep because your body feels like it needs to go run a marathon, it needs to go do a dance, and it is the most obnoxious thing. I started experiencing it early in pregnancy, and I was recommended magnesium tablets, talked to my doctor about it, she agreed, and so I started taking them at night with my prenatal vitamins, and they completely rocked my world and changed my life. I have been able to sleep now. I have not suffered from restless leg syndrome since, and it is such an amazing, amazing thing. So definitely talk to your doctor if you are suffering from restless leg syndrome. Add these into your vitamin regimen, and hopefully you too will be astonished at the results. Speaking of prenatals, obviously prenatals are a huge essential. I'm gonna mention the ones that I love. These I've been taking, I took all throughout my pregnancy with my son when we were TTCing for baby number 1, after he was born when I was breastfeeding, and then I started taking them again last October. We got pregnant in February, and I've been taking them obviously ever since. They are the Garden of Life My Kind Organics prenatal multivitamin. You take 3 of these a day, and I absolutely love them. I am plant-based, and so I love that I get all of the vitamins and the nutrients that I need, vitamin B12, iron, all the good stuff. And then it also comes with a certified organic food blend. So organic ginger root, organic green onion, garlic, parsley, beetroot, apple, you name it, and like this vitamin has it. They are definitely on the pricier side, but I think it's a worthwhile investment. I get them off Amazon. I will link them down below. They're gluten-free, vegan, non-GMO, and you get, I ordered the ones that have 180 tablets, so they last me for 2 months. Let's chat antacids for heartburn, because that's another symptom that a lot of women suffer from. That's not something that I had experienced up until like today. All of a sudden I have like really bad indigestion today. So I took a Tums, and again, consult with your doctor, but it's widely considered that Tums are safe to take during pregnancy. Again, consult with your doctor. That's a really great option. An alternative could be some sort of tea. I wouldn't even be talking about first trimester anything if it wasn't for the beginning of the first trimester and actually testing for pregnancy and getting a positive pregnancy test. So I wanted to mention my absolute favorite pregnancy tests. It is the Easy at Home Pregnancy Strip Test. This little packet here, pregnancy little kit, comes with 50 ovulation tests and 20 HCG tests. I think this is such a great value for your money. I've talked and raved about these tests a million times on my channel. How cute is that little one? But you just can't beat it. For a really inexpensive price, you get 70 tests, again, 50 ovulation and 20 pregnancy tests. And if you're like me and you like testing a lot, or after you get a positive test, you want to continue testing to just see that progression in that darker line every day, then this is just your best bet. This is your best deal. I've never had a problem with these. I use these with my son. Like I mentioned, I use them this time, and you just get such a good value for your money. I've never had any issues with these tests. Obviously, reading an ovulation test is going to be a lot different than reading a pregnancy test, but I've never ever had any issues reading either. And I've always found their pregnancy tests really clear. I've always found their pregnancy tests really clear to read in the days following getting a positive test, because I like to do that like line progression and see the line getting darker and darker and darker, and I've never had any issues where they've been hard to read. It's just been so fabulous. I love these tests so much, and I cannot recommend them enough. I will link them down below because they are the greatest. On my list, good pillows. Guys, ladies, if you haven't invested in a lot of good pillows, now's the time. As your belly grows up, this is your first pregnancy, you might not be feeling big yet, but if this is your second pregnancy or your third, fourth, or fifth, and we're all on the same page, you start feeling really big and heavy really early on. And I found that I need pillows. Even just holding this pillow makes me want to go to sleep. I found that having a lot of pillows is really helpful. I'm one who actually prefers normal pillows to like a dedicated pregnancy pillow. I've just always found the pregnancy pillows to be a little cumbersome and not quite as malleable as just a regular feather pillow. So I usually have about 2 pillows under my head, and then I'll have a pillow underneath my belly, and it just feels so good. It feels so good to be able to really like mold and shape the pillow to how you want it, to how it's gonna support baby. And because as baby grows, your stomach is gonna change and grow differently, and baby's gonna move, I just like the idea of really being able to change the shape of and support where I need when I'm sleeping. So again, if you're on the fence and you're like, oh well, I'm doing okay right now, maybe I don't, get yourself more pillows. And like, for me to you guys personally, I don't think you need to invest in the big pregnancy pillows. First of all, they're so expensive. And second of all, like, they're kind of worthless after pregnancy. So just get yourself some extra pillows. I know it can seem like a lot in the middle of the night trying to like move 1 or 2 pillows, but it'd be the same with a big pregnancy pillow. I don't know, that's just my opinion. Last 2 things I wanted to mention, the first being apps/books. So I can't talk about first trimester essentials without talking about having some sort of guidance throughout your first trimester and onward. And I find that guidance in an app. I use, where's my phone? Pregnancy apps I use are Ovia Pregnancy, What to Expect, and Pregnancy Plus. So there's Pregnancy Plus. It's like the cutest baby app. This is a new one that I only started using this pregnancy, but I love how vivid the picture is and how realistic it is. It'll show you to measure what your baby looks like on the screen and how big your baby is. I love the Ovia fertility app while I'm trying to like track my ovulation and get pregnant, and then I use the Ovia pregnancy app, and I just think it's so cute. It's so cute and straightforward. I love that it shows you like how big your baby's hand is. How cute is that? And then it'll also show you like how big your baby's foot is in relation to how big it'll be once you have your baby. And I like What to Expect. I like their little weekly videos. So you definitely don't need 3 pregnancy apps, that's for sure. But having some sort of pregnancy app or following along in a book is really helpful. First of all, it's just something to look forward to every week. I so love getting like the Ovia pregnancy app will send you an email every day with sort of little milestones that your baby's most likely hitting, and so those are fun to look forward to. And then every week just seeing the growth and development. Your baby's the size of a peach, or your baby's the size of a, I don't know, melon. Like, those things are so fun to look forward to. I have a community built in them that I found helpful throughout the years, so I could not recommend those more. I didn't use a book. I'm sure before apps were developed, pregnancy books were a little more popular and mainstream, but I know that there are so many wonderful books out there. And when I was a first-time mom, I definitely bought a few of them and sort of read them alongside the app, so that might be something fun to do. I think I have Mama Natural's pregnancy book. Can't recommend using an app or a book more. The very last thing I wanted to mention is a big water bottle. So I'm sure if you are in your first trimester, you have felt that switch to being thirsty all the time. That is like a huge early pregnancy symptom and something that always hits me like a ton of bricks when I'm pregnant. I am always thirsty. So having a big water bottle is such a great and easy way to help encourage you to drink more water. I love this. Is a Yeti. It's a glitter Yeti. So it's a Yeti that has been covered in glitter. The shop that made this doesn't make them anymore, so I can't link this specific shop down below, but I will link some other shops that make glitter Yetis if a glitter Yeti is your thing. If you want a regular Yeti, I'll link it down below. Honestly, just a big water bottle that you can continuously fill throughout the day to help just encourage you to drink more water. I always find that is a little bit easier versus a small glass. Also, like as you continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger in pregnancy, the last thing you're gonna wanna do is get up a million times to refill your glass. So just having like a big jug of water near you is so helpful. Okay, sweet friends, those are all of my first trimester essentials. If there's anything that I missed or anything that you found really essential in your first trimester, if you've been through one before, definitely leave it down in the comments below. I just want the comments down below to be a really informative and useful space for mamas. So definitely leave all of your suggestions there. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.